Hi, I'm Christopher Dunn again. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Henry small glass shade indoor-outdoor wall sconce. This is the 30-2709. This is the smaller of the two sizes. This is the one with the hood on it. The conical hood is coming in at 9.2 inches in diameter. There's a larger size that's coming in at 14.4. Check them both out. It's also a lot of Henry fixtures. In addition to this, there's lots of pendants. You should check those out as well. You'll see those both under the interior sconces and fixtures and outdoor sconces and fixtures as well. So this is made to be as rugged as can be to be used outside. It meets all those outside specifications. It's made out of aluminum, all kinds of things like that. Powder coats, and I'll get into lots of the finishes stuff later in the video, but it's so beautiful. People use this inside just as much as they use it outside, so it's a great sconce, a lot of utility going on with it. Let's talk about the size of it to begin with. 10.5 inches tall from the very bottom of that hood to the top of your back plate, and then we know the width is coming in at 9.2, and the depth from the wall coming out is 10.4. So the mounting height, that's the distance from the bottom of the fixture, so that the bottom of that conical hood to the middle of your junction box is coming in at 3.8, and then the back plate on this, that's what's going to go over your junction box, that's coming in at 4.9 by 5.5. This is very light. It's made out of aluminum. It's only 2.6 pounds. So let's get into some of the other information and show you more information about that. And how we're going to do it is we're going to look at the installations instructions now. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over that side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list, which is really the fixture, the back plate. There's a mounting plate that goes onto here, and lots of good illustrations and drawings to show you kind of different angles of this. You should always take advantage of those install sheets because they show you a lot of information. On that parts list, you're going to notice there's a universal mounting kit that's going to be there too. So it's always, again, good for you to know. So the glass on this is going to be available in two types. You're going to have this is very thick glass. It's a hand poured slump glass. It's really beautiful. And it's very, like I said, it's very thick and substantial. So it's something you should really notice because a lot of people are going to wonder about using this outside, but this thing is really rugged. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. You're going to be able to get this in a clear glass, which is really pretty. Like it looks almost like ice, and then the other one is going to be a frosted glass. So those are your two options on that. So let's hop into what's going on inside of this. I'm sure you guys want to know how much light you can get out of this, all the different kind of bulbs you can use. And remember, some of you are going to use this inside, some of you are going to be using this outside, and that might dictate what you're doing with it. So it's going to be using a medium base socket facing down, and remember that. So it just takes a regular medium base bulb. We all grew up with the same kind of bulb. It's very simple. There's no special things to do. If you want to stick with an A19, that's the normal size that can get into this. However, remember the bottom of this is open, so you can put in whatever you really want to get in there. There's lots of decorative light bulbs in different sizes. And this is an A20. You'll notice it's a little bigger than an A19. This will fit in it great. Remember the old Edison type of light bulbs, the old timey ones that look like Thomas Edison made it for you? They basically look like this, but they have a little point on the bottom. You could put that in this too. A lot of people do that. It kind of adds to the aesthetic of the piece. Just something you might want to know. So when you get into what you can do with it as far as wattage goes, if you're sticking with the incandescent bulb, you're going to be looking at 160 watt bulb. I don't think you should do that. I think you should move on from there and look at LEDs because there's so many great LEDs that can go into this. This is kind of in a special case. If you're looking for a lot of light to pour straight down on this, you might be using this in a kitchen, possibly over a row of windows onto counters, and you need to get a lot of light down. This may be one way to go. This is a PAR 20 LED. It's a 50 watt equivalent. I picked this up on Amazon. It's their house brand. So this is something that I use in my showroom all the time. Nice color of light coming out of it, tons of lumens. But you may not be in that situation. You might have aesthetically, looking for something else to do with this, and you might want to go for something that looks a little bit like that Edison bulb, but you don't want to go spend the money on the little pointy part on it. So these are the bulbs that are called phosphorus ones, the clear bulbs that are out there. You can use the regular white LEDs in this, but I don't think those are very pretty. I think these are much prettier and more interesting looking. So this is an A19. Like I said, this is an A20. This is just called a decorative bulb because they use these in other applications like above mirrors in bathrooms all the time. So these are some of the sizes you can use. As far as the amount of lumens and wattage, it's really going to be fair game because these don't generate heat, they generate light, and it's really just whatever you want to put in there as far as an LED is going to be fine. 60 watt equivalent, 75 watt equivalent. I found this at 100 watt equivalent, the A19. A20s and A21s, I found easily, this is a 150 watt equivalent bulb. So how much light do you need to get out of this? Don't know, but you know, and there's quite a bit of things you can do, and you can get tons of light out of this if you want. Don't be scared that you're not going to have enough light ever, because you always are. The color of the light offered to these two is going to be varying a bit, so just remember when you're out there looking. I tend to pick these up at Home Depot, this kind of stuff, because it's just easy, or Lowe's or an Ace Hardware. They come generally in 4-packs, which is nice. They're going to offer these to you in 2700 Kelvin. That's that kind of yellow light, like a setting sun. The one to be careful about is going to be the one that's called daylight, and that is going to be like a bluish white light, like an overcast day or a hospital waiting room. That's 4,000, 5,000 on that Kelvin scale. What we like to use in our showroom is warm white, soft white. That's the light coming down from these bulbs above me. These are 3,000 Kelvin warm white, soft whites, and they look a lot like an incandescent glow, so it's a nice, pretty light that we like to use. So that is what you want to do. If you're going to be using these maybe in an application where you want to dim them, it's a fully dimmable fixture, and just make sure you buy the right bulbs. Say dimmable on them, it'll be important. And then for you California people, so this is going to be special for you guys. So California has Title 24 compliancy on a lot of their outdoor lighting projects. If you are building a new house or doing a renovation and you're pulling permits, that's going to be the key, if you're pulling permits. So if you are in California and you're pulling permits and the nice building inspector is going to come out and check and see what you're doing, it's probably going to want you to do this. And this is a GU24 socket. So it has two little prongs inside that will go inside. They're on the bulb just like this. They lock in. Then what this does is make sure that you can't use an incandescent bulb. It's only going to let you use an LED. So if you're in that situation, we do these as a custom. So you just email us and tell us what you're doing. Always check with your installer first on all that, your electrician, to see if you're required to do that. But we do this kind of thing. And there's different types of LEDs that use GU24 prongs, including some of these and some of these. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Just remember that. It's also a dimmable fixture in this circumstance. You just want to, if you're California, you just want to check with your electrician. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft-grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive, and they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it, and because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that, and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world at Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.